Ridiculous.
All right, Frank Stallone is here, the star of Hudson Hawk, and let's bring in now Rich Cowsill. I want you to meet him because you like to meet other show business professionals.
Well, you know what this whole thing of having brothers and sisters in the business is
but
like.
He's got like 10. I have trouble dealing with one. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, the one of the Cowsills, Rich Cowsill. Now everybody remembers the Cowsills. They were the group, the family that they were like the real life Partridge
Family.
family.
Mom and everything, yeah.
The mom was in it. The kids were in it. Now there he is. Wow. The angry Cowsill.
No, sir.
Sit down.
The happy Cowsill.
How you doing, Mr. Stern?
Oh, yeah,
How
I
you doing?
remember him.
How you doing? Yeah, we met you.
You were in the
Yes,
group.
But he was real quiet the day he came. You came to the TV show.
I came to the...
Take a seat.
Oh, hi.
Put your
Hi, New
headphones
York.
on. Put your headphones on.
Captain John to Major Bob.
Wow, look at the tan you got going.
Good morning,
Good morning.
Miss Quivers.
Hi,
Ma'am.
how are you?
Very good, thank you, ma'am.
Now, the reason I call you the angry Cowsill,
Yeah.
Frank Stallone, by the way.
How you doing, man?
Man, this is
Nice
cool.
meeting you.
All my heroes in one room.
All right, there you go.
Rock and roll, New York.
All right.
sir.
That certifies that he's a Cowsill.
In People magazine,
And I know what you mean.
yeah,
Sir.
In the People magazine, they say you are the excluded Cowsill.
Oh.
The excluded Cowsill kid.
How could you
Thank
cut out
God.
your own brother?
Richard has a more serious complaint. Traumatized by a 3-minute audition when he was 12, Richard still remembers Bud's words. You can't play the drums. I've got enough people in the group, and you're not in. The
Who
family.
said that?
My father.
Oh, my God.
Your father said you can't be in the group.
Well, hey.
What do you think of that, Frank?
But but everyone was in the group but you. How many kids
True.
were there?
Hey,
I
listen,
have 10 kids and go, but you can't be
Look
in
what
it.
happened to Frank
Bizarre,
Stallone.
huh, dude?
His brother won't let him in any movies. It's
Right.
true. It's true,
Right.
Frank.
That's true.
You were very rarely in any of the Rocky movies, except
How
for
about
small
more than
scenes.
rarely. Yeah.
But
More than rarely.
You know what? Now that it's all over, thank God, because New York, I'm here now and live. Sir, go.
Yeah, but don't say that, because you are still hurting inside that you were rejected from the Cowsills. When the Cowsills were big, you wanted to be in the Cowsills.
And a point of clarification borrowing from Robert's rules. I don't hate my brothers. I love my brothers.
It's your sister you hate.
And I love my sister.
all
I
right.
refuse to live their lie. Howard, they dissed you. And I got to tell you,
Their lie?
What is their lie?
their life. Howard,
Their
I
life.
was angry with you. This is qualified. After the TV show and then that Monday morning when we had Hatsorama. But you know what? I thought about it and I said, wait a minute. And you guys, Robin the bottom line was you guys gave them a vehicle. All they had to do was perform. It's a give and take.
Right.
And what did they do? You're right. They hid, but they've been hiding all their lives, so there's nothing
Now,
unusual.
hold on a second. You're coming out with a lot of information
I have no
here.
idea.
You were mad at the
Angry.
TV show.
Mad dogs.
Right, because we gave them an opportunity?
No, sir. No, sir. No, sir. I was angry that the following Monday morning on your radio show, we went to town on the Cowsills. I listened to the tape last night.
Wait a second. Wait a second. Do you want to date Sally Kirkland or what? Are you
Of
chasing
course.
Bob Dylan or what? Now, wait a second. Get back here for a
I
second.
think I now
No,
understand.
seriously.
I'm zeroing
Lady,
in on what he's talking
Now,
about.
you explain, Robin.
Okay, here's what happened.
All right.
We had the Cowsills on the TV show.
Go ahead.
That Monday, we read in a newspaper that they credited someone else with getting them back together
Right.
besides us. So we did diss them for that reason.
Yes, we did. Yes.
Right. And so I automatically, because I am family orientated,
Yes.
God knows how I made it that far.
Right.
But I was angry with you. And then I said, wait a minute. Where were these people? Where were they going? Here's Howard Stern. And sir,
Thank you.
for better or for not, I believe that you truly did want
Well,
to do something for them.
I did. And,
Right.
but I did this on the radio like almost a full year or two ago.
Before. And then what did they do to show their thanks? They didn't bother. And I saw some of the lyrics on the parody, and I'm not going to get into that there because we already
Right.
got
We
the
wanted them to
FCC.
sing. We wanted them to sing a song parody.
Sir, but they could have at least negotiated. They could have
Thank you.
compromised.
Thank you.
They could have come in and said, "Hey, look, and I'm not all for this,
Thank
but
you.
hey, let's work something out because
Right.
you're doing us a deal.
Right.
You're doing us right."
Right.
And they didn't.
Well,
So-
thank you.
so
and I
ca-
appreciate that.
Yeah.
So you left your family for that reason? No.
Yeah, Rob. Hey,
you actually had-
whichever way you want to go with this, I'll work with you.
You
but
actually
Sally
had the
Kirkland just called. She wants to go out with you.
You
tonight.
actually had the Cowsills on your show?
Yes, I did.
No.
Yes. Oh, yes.
The
They
original
sang
group?
the original
Yes.
group.
Do they still perform?
On my show.
That is debatable. But we'll
Now,
get
hold
into
it a
that.
second.
sir.
Let's hold on. Let's take a commercial break because obviously you have a lot to get off your chest. What it is, we're not sure.
Well, you're going to find out.
Frank Stallone is here because he loves his show business story.
And I mean that.
Frank fought and struggled for years to come out from his brother's shadow, and now that he's on top,
he's kicking dirt in his brother's face.
Now he will humiliate his brother.
Not true. And that's what I mean, that I don't hate my brothers, and I should.
And yes, we did have the Cowsills. Frank, to answer your question, yes, we did have the Cowsills.
Did they sing?
They sang all of their hit. All right, we'll be back right after these words. That's very annoying. Can I ask you a question about the Cowsills?
Go for it.
All right, Frank obviously can't stay on this topic. He's not interested in your life. He's only interested in his own.
Cowsills are very well.
Well,
all right.
I've noticed in the past that my family tends to step on each other all the time.
Tell me what your beef is with your family.
Family tends to step on each other all the time.
Tell me what your beef is with your family. Tell me what your beef is with your family. I don't understand the beef here.
Fine
Well,
and
you
fair.
don't think it's wrong to be thrown out of the group?
I think the group should have stuck up for Rich. I mean, it's your family. It's like being thrown out of your family.
Howard. Okay, now here I go. I'm trying to make it quick to the point. Here's the bottom line.
Go ahead.
A year and maybe 4 months ago, I get a phone call from my twin brother Bob, who I love dearly.
Go ahead.
He says to me, "Hey,
You know,
Rich,
you look like him. Go ahead.
Hey, seriously though,
Yeah.
he says to me, he says, well, Rich, I'm going to tell you some news. Now, mind you, I already knew that 2 months before they had been in the studios, but he's going to tell me some news. And he says to me, this time it's going to be everyone. You're going to be in the group.
Right.
I said, man, hallelujah, raise the flag. I'm discovered.
Right.
I said, cool, Bob. I said, how did that come about? And he said, well, we had a meeting, and my oldest brother, Bill, who is the true musical talent in my family, he's up in Canada, says to, Bob says to him, well, what are we going to do about Rich? He's going to find out that this is happening, and he ain't going to stand for it this time.
Right.
Bill says, well, you've got two options. You either off him or let him in. So they set him in. I said, cool. My lips are silent. For a year and a half, I have assisted with having cars for them. When they got to the East Coast, I opened up my house, I opened up my heart, I opened up my food, and only to come to find out I was sort of being played along one more time. It's their fault, and it's not their fault. There is one key element here that is the existence of our entire nightmare, which is our life, and that's Daddy Dearest.
Right.
And
Is he still alive?
yeah, he's in Mexico, and he's basically without electricity, although he has solar. Actually, I designed the house because that's when my mom was alive,
Right.
and I built it for her. But the bottom line is that my father was such a heavy dude that, like, if you have a baby and you teach him 2 and 2 is 5 from birth, believe me, 2 and 2 is 5. If
Right.
you go east, back is front and front is back. At any rate,
Yeah. So you're angry with your dad.
I'm not.
Because wait a second.
Sure,
You
go
are angry. You know why? Because
Why?
they set up a group. It's a family. All of a sudden they say, "Hey, let's start a band,"
yeah.
and they leave you out. That's like
Sure.
being left out of your family.
Sure. Oh, absolutely. There is no family. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
There isn't.
There was no emotions. It was based on fear. Watch. We were 6 brothers and 1 sister. If anybody did anything that was against my father's wishes, you had to snitch him out. If you did not snitch him out, you went down for the count. My friends, when I tell you I have been through walls, I've been through glass, I've been through doors, not that I was the only one.
Right.
That was everyone. We lived in a night of terror. Everybody thought of, and we can make you happy.
What?
Wasn't
Because
happy.
you mean if you did something wrong, your dad would get on your ass?
If you did something right. My first recollection of my father was 4 years old. I was looking in a fryer later at how a donut was made.
Wow.
I was precocious. The bottom line was he broke his toe on my rear end. That's my first vision of my father.
It says here in the People magazine article, caught smoking pot by his father the next year, Bill was immediately banished from the group. That was the beginning of the end of the Cowsills right there. Says Bob. Now, wait a second. Bill was thrown out of the group.
But Howard, pot had nothing to do with it. My brother Bill had an independent thought. Wrong move in our household.
Man. Now, your mom went along with this?
My mom was the 8th kid.
Really? Treated like a child.
We got lined up, and I mean, Howard, they had to hide me.
But you got a healthy attitude toward this. I mean, you
I've
understand.
had therapy, kids. Wake up, tune in, and get some.
Because that line that says, my mom was the 8th kid, that's a pretty good line. I mean, realizing that.
Howard, my father saw in me himself. He hated himself. I was the low man on the bottom.
So you have no contact with your dad.
We have written him 6-7 times over the years, sent pictures of the grandchildren. No, I have forgiven. If you'll notice in there, it says, I forgive, I don't forget. This is why it's not hate anymore. If anything, it's guys, wake up, tune in. Why do you think that you're not going anywhere? Because you have no leader. Because the leader who led you was a monster who lives in Mexico. And you don't have
a second. I got to say
species
something.
together.
You are blowing the lid off the Cowsills. You are blowing the lid.
Touched it.
Suddenly, look at Frank smiling. Frank doesn't feel screwed up anymore. He's happy about his own life.
He's thinking
I'm
about his whole
okay.
life.
You're okay,
He's
man.
saying, I had a happy
10-4,
childhood.
dude. Look at him. Are you okay, Frank? Frank's over in the corner, like crying.
Howard, we were the most dysfunctional, and you know what? We received so many letters from kids over the years.
Why don't you write a book? Oh, you got a book.
Deal, dude.
Oh, you got a book.
He's got the manuscript right here.
Howard, you got that.
Maybe I'll option that. I'll make a TV movie of the week out of it.
Howard,
you could play
try
all
this
6
on for
Cowsills.
size. Bill caught smoking cigarette. Punishment: father takes cigarette, burns into arm. No.
Bet he never smoked again.
Yeah, he did.
Oh, he did. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay, try this for size. My father's in London. Jan, and by the way, point of clarification here. Jan Murray, who's dealing with some heavy people nowadays, is my collaborator on this book. The beauty of
Jan
this
Murray?
is...
Jan Murray?
Not to be confused with Jan
Not
Murray.
Treasure Hunt.
Jan, I told you we get him on that one. No, but the bottom line is Janice Murray, who is a publicist who deals with...
A woman.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
With some major league clients now.
Some of the revelations are...
20 years ago, she was our publicist. This
Wow.
is perfect.
Wow. You're
Jan
blowing the lid off of
remembers.
that as well. Ever stab your father in the ass with a screwdriver?
Now, Howard, we can have a good time. You tell me where you want to go, and
Now, wait a second. What are you saying now? You're saying that so one of your brothers was burned by a cigarette. What
Oh,
else?
sure. Oh, Howard, it goes...
I mean, tell me about
Were they
this because I'm
strict with your
interested in
sister?
optioning.
Pardon
this.
me?
Strict with your sister?
Oh, look at Frank.
Trust me on this. You said yes, sir, or no, sir, or you hit the deck. There was no love in that family. You know the beautiful
Was
thing.
your sister ever spanked?
My father was a child abuser. The beautiful thing about this is that we all have children nowadays, all right? And we grew up
Not Frank.
not understanding anything. Not one of us have had to lift a finger to our children. I mean, we were able, hey, kid, we love you. You can't do that. That's not right. And you have children, Howard, so bear with me on
I
this.
beat them every night, though.
Yeah, and I'll bet, right?
Right.
You love them.
I love them. I love
we
them. I
never
never
know
lay a
about
hand.
love,
Never
though.
laid a hand on them.
Whatever.
I know there's a story here, but I'm just trying to get it.
I'm getting it.
Man, this is
I'm
some stuff.
writing it down. He can sit there and...
Robin,
I'm collaborating on this
Do you think
book.
I should option this book?
I don't know if this will play on TV. Too
Howard,
much
you could
violence.
write-
Exactly.
play the
No, seriously,
father.
it would.
You know,
Yeah.
because I was going to option
You
Frank.
wouldn't recognize me watch, the beauty of me not being on stage was that the rest of the kids would be black and blue, but it could be hideable. With me, he could put me in the room
let
and
me tell
totally
you
hide
something.
me. Yeah,
Your
sure.
story's pretty good, but Frank shot himself. I don't know if you know that.
No, I got shot.
Oh, sorry, Frank.
No, someone
Somehow
shot me.
when
Just trying to sell your story too here, all right? I don't want to leave you out of it.
Frank goes into gun shops, the guns jump off the counter
And
and
somehow
start
shoot
firing.
him. Unbelievable.
Shoot me.
Well, that's another story. Now hold on, because if your father gets you in a gun store, you might be in trouble.
Trust me,
For
my
blowing the
father
little-
won't come near me.
He won't come near you. Well, now you're a grown man. You can handle yourself.
At 18 years old, he
Yes.
took his last punch at me. It was nuts. My brother snitched me out for something, all right?
So the Cowsills ruined your life in a way. The group, the Cowsills, it was the ruination of your life.
No.
No, it sounds like it was the ruination of their lives. He was
Precisely.
saved.
We were puppets on a string.
All right.
Oh, let's write
Look
a
at
book.
this keyboard lighting up. I mean, this phone, because this...
You know why people
I
are
have
upset and
6
outraged?
brothers and one...
Half of them want to say, how dare you ruin the myth of the Cowsills? And the
Howard.
other half want to say, bravo for
But the
ruining
point
myth.
is, Howard, is that we have received so many letters from kids who had such tragic lives. Oh, thank you, Cowsills.
Who'd you get letters from Jackie?
No, listen to me. This is serious business. Real quick here. We had so many letters from kids whose lives were ruined, and the Cowsill brought so much music and happiness into their life. Little did they know that we were twice as dysfunctional as they ever thought of being.
Let me tell you, the phones are
you
burning
got- you gotta
off.
let
We
someone-
will. Let me take a break, because actually the phones are lit up with other Cowsills who are angry at all of this.
Oh, this could be
Rock
another. This could be
and
another.
roll.
Hey, this could be another Pat Cooper.
This
What
is
if
it.
Mr.
This is it.
Cowsill calls from Mexico?
You're seeing history.
My father doesn't have the testicles to pull that off.
Oh,
Well, I do.
Cool. Let's go.
And Frank does. Frank, pull up your pants.
no, I can't do it.
You know, if I hear one more story about child actors or actresses or singers or other performers having bad
Yes.
lives, I just don't know what I'll do.
Robin
Hey,
was
just because
sobbing.
you had a happy life, Robin.
Yeah, Robin. Hey, let me tell you
Make us
something.
happy.
Yeah.
Frank had to shoot himself to get
Yeah,
your
I mean,
attention.
the Revelation, Sandra D. They go on and on and on.
That's
These
enough
horrid
already.
stories. Patty Duke.
What is that?
Now the Cowsills.
But never mind the Cowsills and Patty Duke. Listen to that noise.
What is that, Howard?
I don't know what that
I'm
is. Fred,
gonna
what is that?
smack you
Mr.
if you don't
Cowsill's
fix that.
beaming in from Mexico.
That's it. That's Mr. Cowsill trying to reach us on
He's
the
scrambling
satellite.
the system from
That's his
Mexico.
energy wave.
He knocked us off the air.
Turn it off, Fred. Get your hand out of my lap.
Now, we're still on the air, Frank. Don't take me at my word.
Now, let me tell you something.
Is he on?
Oh, I'm on, yes. No. Frank,
I was asking.
Frank, I got to do this commercial.
My father decked Ed Sullivan's son-in-law on a 10-show deal. We missed 7 on account of that.
That's great.
I can't turn off this noise, but anyway.
Because no one wants you to do
Excuse me,
That's Zamfir, master of the pan flute. Anyway, let me tell you the big news. The big news is
working on a new album.
best health. Yeah, Zamfir. The best health, all natural. What was it, Fred?
This thing here.
That thing there. Okay. Thanks for that explanation.
Remember that.
Next time I'll know. The big news is the new iced tea out of Best Health All Natural Gourmet Soda. Do you guys understand something?
Sir.
Do you understand what happened in the soda and iced tea business and all the bottled drink business? When sodas first came out, you know what they had? They had a lot of preservatives and chemicals and artificial ingredients. Then the next thing happened. Someone figured out to make natural sodas and iced teas. Now, this guy, Best Health All Natural Gourmet. Gourmet. They put gourmet. Frank, stop smelling your fingers.
Okay.
Man, what were you with Sally last night? What? We're off the air?
Oh, no. I can't stand it.
Trust me.
Howard.
Worth the wait.
What?
Are you there?
Yeah.
Dude,
What is it?
calling from Jersey.
All right, well, quickly, what is it?
Well, I just wanted to know a little more about the Cowsill story.
See?
Yeah, but why don't we wait till Monday when everyone can hear?
Well, me and this guy can't wait.
When's the book coming out?
I'm buying the book right now as we speak. I'm optioning it.
Is that right?
What kind of rights? How much does it cost to buy something like? Do you think that would play on television?
No, they. You know what they would do with this story on TV?
What?
Mr. Cowsill would not be as mean a dude as he actually was.
Right,
It would
he'd
be
be like-
exactly what happened with the Beach Boys story.
Right.
They would dilute it.
Does
Yeah.
your father have a fake eye he pulls out?
Yeah. Does he torture you with does he pull out his eye and like make you look into his socket? That's what Brian Wilson's dad did.
No, but he's got some other really good ones.
Well, what would he do to you besides burn your arm and stuff with a
Did he
cigarette?
stick a screwdriver up your butt?
Did he All right. Thank you.
Who is this? Your son on the phone, Howard?
Yeah.
No, Howard.
All right. Go ahead.
Where are we going?
You don't want to reveal until we get back on to New York?
Yeah,
I
I've got
see.
a lot of good people out in New York. However, you're in charge here, sir. So
Well, I'm just kind of
You
curious.
can stop calling people sir and ma'am.
That's
almost
his
like
thing.
Elvis.
That's the first thing you can do.
I have news for you.
That's his thing, Robin.
No, that's not my thing. That
Yeah.
was inbred in me.
Yeah, but
so,
I'm liberating you.
Yo, do that. How's that, Robin?
It's like
Congratulations.
Elvis always
No,
said,
but seriously,
Now,
seriously.
you mean the Cowsills? None of the Cowsills ever revealed any of this.
No.
Only,
And- excuse
only
me.
you are willing.
Because I'm the only one that's had therapy and realizes the nightmare that we lived. These
Now, do you
peop-
say that to your brothers
Absolutely.
and sisters?
Well, no. Only one brother, which is my twin, will speak with me. Right?
Oh.
Everybody else is too cool. Way too cool. Trust me on this. However, when
Maybe they feel you're just bitter because you weren't in the group.
No, trust me. Far from
Are they
that.
freaking out that you're talking about all of this?
As a matter of fact, as I'm sure that we let Gary know, and I thought he passed on to you, they know absolutely nothing about it. Howard, I
Well,
felt...
didn't they read People magazine?
Well, but what did I say in People magazine? That was
Oh,
calculated.
I see.
Howard, I felt, and when I had Jan get in touch with Gary, that one Cowsill was going to pay you back for the righteous acts that you've done for us. Well, hey, and I'm 100% serious on this,
Look
sir.
at Robin, standing ovation.
No. Come on now, and we can make light of it or not, but Howard...
Well, let us thank you.
Well, let us thank you.
You're not accepting.
We hail you.
All right, but the bottom line was, I watched them go on Joan Rivers. I watched my
I
brother
saw that.
Paul. Hey, I got news for you. Now, there's a whole nother story right there.
All right.
My twin brother, you might have noticed, was at the end of the couch. That's not how the come down came. Or he was the furthest removed from Joan Rivers.
Right.
Okay? The bottom line was Joan Rivers people walked in and said, Bob, you're going to sit next to Joan. John, you're going to sit there. Sue, you're going to sit there. And Paul, you're going to sit there.
Right.
Well, Paul... who is the most like me as far as energy. I don't know about the intellect, but
Right.
Paul, who sat next to Joan, jumped into Bob's seat. Him and Susan had it worked out that when they asked the key question, what happened to the money? Because we did go down the tubes for about 20 grand.
Yeah, right.
Right? And when they asked about my father, Paul would sit there and yeah, you heard what he said. Well, we own the golf course. We never owned a golf course.
Right.
There was a golf course on the other side. And Paul is explaining away $10 million because he says, no, it wasn't 20.
What happened
it
to
was
the $10 million?
That's chapter 24, and the title of that chapter is either Dead or Out of the Red. Because the fact of the matter is, and I'm not going to get into names for obvious reasons here,
Yes,
a lot of
yes.
those people are still alive.
I see.
And I'm coming. Because you know what? I came back from Vietnam after serving almost 2 years over there.
Right.
I walked into our mansion, the one, Frank, that you were making reference to, in Newport. I walked up to my father and I said, Dad, I've come for the money. He looked at me and he said, what money? Now, I made $40 a week allowance because I was the roadie, I think they called him. I mean, I did all the...
What'd you do in Vietnam? Were you like one of the guys out there, like in the trenches?
I did a lot in Vietnam, absolutely.
You kill any dudes?
Absolutely.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah.
Frank, hold him back if he attacks me.
No, Howard, I love you, babe.
No, go ahead. All right, easy. I love you. All right, everybody just calm down. All right, just calm down.
No, seriously. But the bottom line was that I supposedly had a New York Children's Probate Court Trust Fund. I don't know if I have the verbiage in the right order. And there was nothing there. That took a lot of crooked
Did you
people.
pretend like the gooks were the other Cowsills? And then like you would just like, you know what I'm saying?
How?
Because
No.
you would have wiped them out.
And as a
Imagine
matter...
saying, hey, wait a second, it's the Cowsills.
Obviously, he didn't do
Audie
that.
Murphy.
We lost that.
Yeah, we lost that war.
And as a matter of fact, I don't even...
By the way, we hail you for going over there.
They were Vietnamese as far as I'm concerned. And
Right.
that's another thing that I agree with you. When I hear people like Spike Lee, Al Sharpton, all of these... And watch... I worked for blacks, I worked with blacks, and I know blacks, and I think they are righteous people. When you get people like that, who all they want to talk about is pour me this and pour me that, I'm a middle-class white guy who had nothing against anybody, and it's these hate-mongers, these racists.
All right, now wait a second. Now you're onto a whole new
Where
thing.
are we?
Well,
Robin, what did he say? What did he just say?
I said I agreed with you, and period.
Right, thank you. Thank you. Now listen to me. Listen to me.
Yes, sir.
Everybody's very excited right now.
Language.
Rich
they're
Cowsill
speaking.
is now writing as we speak. What do you... A lot of stuff on your mind
Well,
here.
can you come back on Monday?
Absolutely, ma'am.
Okay.
All right.
Then we'll do this again.
Thank you, ma'am.
He's doing like Elvis. Oh, thank you, ma'am.
Hey, well, he's got that whole military thing drilled into him.
Yeah, it was
Well,
definitely,
yeah.
Is it a
First
go
he
for?
had dad, and then he
definitely
had the
hospital
military.
corners and bouncing the quarter up.
You've had it drilled into you. Was your father proud when you at least went into the Army and stuff?
No, my father said that I would go into the Army, and I was
Oh.
still at a conditioning point that I accepted that and did it.
Were you the oldest Cowsill?
No, I was the second oldest. Well, my twin brother's 20 minutes behind me, but
Oh.
Did he go?
no.
Just you?
How come only you went?
Because I was thrown out of the house. Because I had gotten in trouble in Newport. I had gotten in a fight. The local gang, and believe me, it's not like the gangs that we know,
Yeah.
but the local gang, because I was a Cowsill, it was a double-edged sword. I wasn't a Cowsill, but I was a Cowsill.
Right.
I got challenged,
Right.
and I had to take on the leader, and I got into a fight, and I grabbed him by his hair and threw him down a couple of flights of stairs. To show you how heavy this gang was, I cheated, so I had to fight him the next morning. I had the car.
Oh.
Yeah, no, hey.
Because
hey,
you grabbed him by the hair.
Yeah.
Right.
So then, because I kept the car, and I took one of my very good friends, this 6'7" giant black guy named Jerry Suggs, and I went down to meet the gang to show you how tough this gang was. They took one look at him. I fought the leader again. This time I didn't pull his hair, and I took care of business. Because I got the car late back to my brother. We're driving back to New York. He goes, when you get home, you're telling Dad that you got in a fight. Meantime, I know he smokes dope. I know he's doing everything that could have got him nailed to the cross, but I didn't play my father's game. I never snitched anybody out.
Right.
So when I told him, the first thing he did was he took a punch at me. As I got up off the floor, I looked at him. I said, dude, you hit me one more time, and we're going at it.
Really?
He said, then you're out of the house. I said, cool, I'm out of the house. He said, you're in the Army. I said, cool, I'm in the Army. Now, you got to understand.
You'd rather go to Vietnam than live with that guy.
No, that's another story. I was set up for special
Howard, would
services.
you stop saying things?
I see.
Because it's always another story.
There's always
But
a
they're
story.
good.
And long. God. Well, Christmases were special, though, weren't they?
No, as a matter of fact, how would you like to have been a kid? And because your father was angry with you,
Yes.
he said there will be no Christmas. All of your other brothers will get your toys. And then how would you like to be the other brother taking your brother's toy?
This is Cowsill Dearest.
I'm in the fetal
Yeah.
position. Come help me.
Yeah, really.
Believe
Primal
me,
Scream.
subliminally
Listen.
speaking, you're correct.
Yeah.
What a can of worms you are.
This is definitely Primal Scream.
You have blown the lid off the Cowsills once again.
I haven't touched
You
it.
are the bravest Cowsill. I'll say
Your
that.
phone is...
Like I'm going to that.
On Fifth Avenue.
Hey, maybe your
She
father.
kicked him.
Maybe your father had PMS, Rich. Maybe that's what it was. You
DDTs.
didn't get anything. What happened with you?
Christ.
You were in the gun shop. the accidental firing of a gun.
Yeah.
The gun store
me.
owner shot you in the hand,
Yeah.
and you collected nothing.
Well, not like that kind of dough.
What was your impression
Here's
of
Frank.
who?
A kindler.
Yes.
Kindler. She's
Well, I guess people were asking her about the whole Palm Beach incident involving
Bob,
the Kennedys.
That's true.
Wait a second. Rich Cowsill's doing an
Now
impression.
he's doing impressions?
Yes, 7 years ago it happened.
Yeah. Number one what?
Drug of choice in America.
They drink
Alcohol.
deliberately to change the way they feel.
what's Jackie's choice?
Oh, call him.
The first rapper.
Rich Cowsill wants to say something about this, but I'm not sure what it is. Go ahead.
Its 5-year mission to explore strange new worlds.
No, forget it. All
He
right.
can't interrupt the captain.
Boldly go.
Having the newsletter guy tomorrow at the second Saturday Record and CD Expo in Wayne, New Jersey from 10 to 1 p.m. For more information, call 201-773-6067-40. Let's say it's been too long between visits for Frank Stallone. We always love seeing him.
Yeah.
Anytime.
Thank you.
Our doors are always open to you.
Thank you, Howard.
And Rich, we'll see you if you want to come back on Monday. We'd be thrilled to have you.
Done deal. Thank you very
And
much. Robin, great. This is cool.
Okay.
and
Oh, really?
yeah, or something. We'll talk to her about it.
And
Anyway.
you'd better just be on your best behavior. She'll walk.
Hey, would anybody object to Rich Cowsill sitting in here for the news? I don't want to leave the guy hanging out there. He seems okay during the news. He seems pretty...
He says yes, sir, and yes, ma'am.
Yeah, he seems okay. Jackie, you got a problem with
He's a
that?
good boy.
No, I like him. He's
All right.
energetic.
Jackie likes him, since he has to sit closest to him, as long as it doesn't bother him.
Touches me.
Hey, Gary, let Rich Cowsill sitting here so he doesn't bum out. So he doesn't think we're blowing him off.
So shall I start before he gets here?
Yeah, maybe you better. That way he'll...
You know, maybe he went to the parade yesterday. He's a Vietnam vet.
Hey, you're a Vietnam vet. Were you at the parade?
No.
No?
You don't need a
As a matter
parade?
of fact, that parade, when you look at all the money that we spent on it, and don't get me wrong, God bless those guys.
Right.
But the money that we spent on that parade, and they're talking about the homeless and the shelter. Anyway, the news, because this is not my spot.
Thank you. Hey. Rich Cowsill from the Cowsills. Decorated Vietnam vet.
Yeah.
Were you decorated?
Yes.
And did you feel like you got welcomed home yesterday?
Strangely enough, and I'll just take up a little time because I know that this is significant. The bottom line is that I was thrown out of the Army after spending 18 months in Vietnam.
Hey, just like the Cowsills, you were thrown out of there, too.
Yeah, well, it seems
You
to be
can't
a
stay in any
tradition.
group.
No, but wait a minute. 7 years
Maybe your old
later,
man was right to burn you.
7 years later,
Yeah.
I
They
get
wanted you
my
back?
honorable discharge back. Well, I had to stay in the stockade on the 4th of July and get beat up by a whole bunch of guards, but then they let me out because they knew that I was serious. 7 years later, I get my honorable discharge
Yeah.
for fighting through the Veterans for Centers' Rights or something like that, right? The bottom line is I'm looking. I got a gallantry cross. I got these other medals. I'm going, Jesus Christ, I didn't, praise the Lord. I didn't even know that I had gotten medals. Swear to God. True story. It
Really?
blew my mind.
All right.
And the Army, with all the paperwork and the bureaucracy, probably didn't want to give them to me.
Hey, maybe you don't mind sitting outside for the news.
Fair enough, sir.
You
Fair
know,
enough.
because anything you bring up.
Hey, no, he's got a story.
He's got a story.
Yeah.
So anyway, they were parading yesterday, Howard. It's a big deal. They had 5 million people turn out to watch.
It was real funny, the parade.
Is that incredible, though? 5 million people standing on the sidelines watching people march down the street?
I think a lot of those people, though, were like just office people, right? I mean, were those? How did they get 5 million people
There
down
were
there?
people who-
Yeah, Alive at 5 was Al Roker being swallowed up by these about 19 black soldiers and this one female black soldier. And these guys were just like jumping up and down all over her. And then I told you, then some cop, he was flipping the finger to some guys, and then they had to cut the camera off. They just cut
I
back to...
missed that one.
And it was like these wild soldiers out of control, you know? It was their big day.
Yeah, they didn't know what to do with themselves.
Fred said he read the paper. One guy's already up on rape charges.
No.
Yeah, let me see here. Marine nabbed on sex assault rap. A desert,
Here?
Yeah, a Desert Storm Marine was arrested yesterday for allegedly sodomizing and trying to rape a female attorney he met in Central Park.
Oh, no. Well,
Parade went haywire.
yeah, I think, that doesn't mean you get to take liberties with everybody just because we're thanking you for fighting Operation Desert Storm.
Unbelievable.
That's terrible. Amazing. He met an attorney in the park and decided to sodomize her?
Wow. When you were in NAM, though, you must have gotten involved in a lot of sex with a lot of the Kong. Right.
That's close to CUNY. But no, the fact of the matter is that, yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
You always, well, why not? Any day you might die. So I guess when the soldiers came back here, they just...
Well, you got to remember when they went over there were no women.
Right. So they have a right to go
So
to
these
Central
are
Park.
pent-up guys.
And the bottom line was that the barter system was such that it was pillows, soap. There was no money. That's how you got a lot of things with what
Really?
the U.S. government provided. For
So you can get laid with a pillow?
For a pillow.
Really?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Man.
So a bar of soap can get you what?
In
Laid?
trouble. No. Yeah, as well, probably. Sure.
A bar of soap.
Hey, Robin, don't you say you need towels?
Hey, no, seriously, coming back...
You got any towels?
Coming back from Vietnam,
Yeah.
the most impressive thing when I came back after being over there that length of time was toilet paper
Right.
and concrete.
Well, what did you mean? What'd you wipe with in Vietnam?
Whatever you could get your
Leaves
hands
and
on.
stuff?
Yeah. The bottom line is you have to remember that they took us from the concrete and civilization, plopped us in the middle of a jungle, and said, "We'll be back in a year if you're there." And then that was it.
Right.
Yeah.
You were out in the bush all that time? Or whatever they call
I was
it?
in quite some bush, quite a lot.
He
of
was in
time.
quite a lot of bush when he got his bars of soap, and
But he had soap and pillows.
yeah, he was definitely in some bush.
Something tells me.
All right, let's take a break, and then when we come back, we can continue the
Yes.
salute to Operation Desert Parade right after these words. He got filled with negativity.
Yes.
Yeah, not appreciative of his Cowsill upbringing.
And then Private Rick Congdon.
Do you know him, Private Rick Condon?
I think his father I met once or twice.
Name?
Yeah. Sure.
Okay.
The whole time I was over there, I never expected something like this, a welcome home like this. This is just so beautiful. The patriotism, so glad to be home.
Really? Yeah, it's good. It was good.
There's still 65,000 people over in the Middle East, the Persian Gulf, so that we don't forget that not everybody has come home.
Right. It's still going on. Kind of.
Well, I mean, they're just still kids who will come home and they won't see the big parade, but,
Right.
so don't just think that everybody has now reached these shores. There's still people over there
That's right.
trying to get back. And General Schwarzkopf and General Powell and Secretary of State Dick Cheney, they were all in the reviewing stand for a little while anyway.
She's Secretary of Defense or Secretary of State?
Defense.
All right.
He was, they were saying that it was kind of sad because the parade went on for so long that these guys couldn't stand there and review everybody who marched by. They eventually said, we can't take it anymore, and they left after viewing for about, I guess, 2.5, 3 hours. They couldn't stay for the entire parade. So there were a lot of people marching by, and they'd look up to the review stand when they got there. There was nobody there.
Well, the parade was excessively long.
Uh-oh, Rich is bubbling.
Rich, what are you doing? He's bubbling, and then, what is it?
I was now
Yes.
back in Fort Huachuca, Arizona, where they sent all the crazies from Vietnam. I was.
What were you doing there?
Yeah, how did you end up
I don't
there?
know. It was a case of mistaken identity, as far as I'm concerned.
Because you're a little wacky, but go ahead. Yeah.
But the fact of the matter, when you said parade and reviewing stand on Armed Forces Day, now you got to remember the climate back then. On Armed Forces Day, me and a bunch of other guys figured out that as we were going to go by the reviewing stand, we would all fake a faint, okay? And it just caused total chaos at the parade. So all my partners and everyone are feeling real big because we're way out in the middle of the field. So now it's time to march by the stand, right?
And you fainted?
Of course.
Really?
But they didn't.
Not right. Not only that, but not only did I faint, but I fell sideways, so the entire thing split up. My first sergeant, because I was trying to get out of the...
Well, let me ask you something. What is your goal in life? To upset and disrupt everything? Or
no, at that point there, I had a serious contention that we no longer should have been in Vietnam. I mean, it was a little bit late. I was over there for a year and a half.
Yeah, right. It's time to do that was beforehand.
Hey, I was not I didn't understand.
You know, if I had served like a year and a half in Vietnam and survived it, then I would have come back like been Mr. Army. Because I would have been like a hero. You were bucking the system at that point. You could have been Mr. Army.
Yeah, well, my West Point captain and I understood one thing, and that's that I wasn't going to play ball. But anyway...
All right, would you hold on till after the news? All right, because you're really... No, I mean, you can interject, but you get way off on things.
Oh, dear.
I don't know that anybody cares that much. All right, go ahead. Hey, did you and Gary Lewis share any foxholes?
No.
No? Okay, go ahead, Robin.
All right. So anyway, that was the parade. There was the big parties last night, and they ended it all with a big fireworks salute that was supposed to be quite spectacular.
Cool.
And everybody's now happy. New York is feeling good because we did something very positive. A lot of people were in the same place at the same time and no disasters happened. There were a few incidents of people trying to disrupt the parade or protest.
That was weird.
The war. There were some people who just prayed. Some people who marched and yelled. And then there was another group that started launching these red paint-soaked rag dolls into the crowd.
And that was Fred and his friends.
Is that right?
That's right.
You sure it wasn't Rich and
Rich
Fred?
Cowsill and Fred. Rich Cowsill, I actually went to the bathroom on a float in protest of the parade.
That's a
Isn't that
terrible
true?
thing.
And once again, Howard, you are the leader.
Yeah, there you go.
So anyway, yeah, a couple of those people wound up being arrested and shuffled off, and a couple of the police even were hurt because of scuffles with some of those people. So
There were no floats.
no, just marching, just a bunch of people marching down the street. So. Lots of people in military uniform and Vietnam vets who said, it still doesn't take up for not having a welcome home of our own, but it's nice to see this kind of outpouring of support for the military.
There you go.
Those Vietnam, you can never satisfy those guys.
Yeah, well, at least everybody was sort of happy yesterday.
Yeah. So anyway, that was it. Meanwhile,
Traffic wasn't bad where I was. And we got.
I thank those people.
Yeah.
Because with 5 million people down in lower Manhattan,
I had no problem.
there was no traffic in the rest of this town.
We got right through.
That was a beautiful thing.
No hassle.
Nobody believed that gridlock wouldn't affect the entire city, so everybody left their car at home, which is a good idea every day.
Right. Let's get in that habit.
Anyway, Howard, while we were celebrating here in Detroit, something else was going on. The funeral of David Ruffin, one of the former lead singers of the Temptations. 3 of the surviving original Temptations sang their last respects.
Oh, no kidding. Got a little music from the Temps.
At the funeral.
I thought they threw him out of the Temptations.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah, okay, now he's dead.
I've got so much money. Every being baby. Oh, Lord.
What song is that?
I've got a sweeter song.
My Girl, isn't it?
I Got Sunshine, I thought it was.
Yeah,
I Got Sunshine.
But the tune is My Girl.
Oh, Lord.
I get... Yes, you, babe. You say. You.
What can make me feel this way?
I'm dead. I'm dead. You're dead.
Talking about
I'm dead.
Yes,
I'm
you are.
Oh, baby, oh, baby. Very sweet, very sweet.
Oh, dear. And then Melvin Franklin
All right, Melvin Franklin.
of the Temptations. I think he's the guy with the really deep voice.
No, that's the guy who discovered electricity.
That was Benjamin Franklin.
Right.
This is Melvin Franklin of
Oh,
the
that's right, that's right.
Temptations.
No, you're
who
right.
eulogized David Ruffin during Monday's funeral.
His haunting voice.
Didn't he do it in like an a cappella, like 4-man harmony or something?
No.
Oh.
Helped to bring the whole world together with music and love. Right this minute, right now, there are billions of people on this earth who can't speak a word of English, but they know every word to My Girl.
Most of them were in the Temptations.
Terrible.
Hey, that's weird, It's always weird, like, when the guy dies and, like, I don't know, in life, you'd sort of had his drug problem. They threw him out of the Temptations and
Yeah,
stuff.
it was kind of hard to deal with.
Yeah.
But everybody's got a nice word to say about him now.
And bury him in his mink casket. Didn't he have a mink car or something?
He had a car with his name on the side. He wouldn't ride with the other Temptations, and it was lined in mink.
Yes. Him and Elvis.
And, of course, Aretha Franklin was at the funeral. She didn't go to the James Brown concert. She went to the funeral.
I see.
She praised David Ruffin.
Haven't seen her in a while. Maybe this was her only gig this summer to play in this funeral.
David was truly one of the world's greatest soul singers.
Yes.
And a great soul has gone on.
Was there a buffet at the funeral?
A buffet?
No, you know.
Feel like a soul.
No, Aretha gets hungry, I think. Isn't she kind of heavy now?
Yeah,
I saw her on
she's
TV.
heavy. That's a terrible thing to say.
Hey, I wish I'd go to one of those happening funerals.
Yeah, well.
In fact, Robin, do me a favor. Write down everything that they said and say it at my funeral. That was kind of nice.
I'm going to keep those quotes and use them for you. I'll even sing. So anyway, they put David Ruffin to rest yesterday. People are still debating what happened to him. They know it was a drug overdose, but did he administer it himself?
It's hard to say.
Or was there foul play involved? A lot of the people who were close to him keep saying, where's the money?
He had 40 grand on him, supposedly. And you don't go into a crack house with 40 grand. I mean...
And hasn't anyone ever heard of somebody dying or getting an overdose in a crack house and people fleecing them before they take them off to the hospital?
Yeah, right.
I mean, they act like these things don't happen. They act like people have rules in crack houses.
They're trying to create some kind of controversy around this. My feeling, guy died in the crack house of, crack use, passed out. I guess everybody fleeced him.
Yeah, that's what happens.
I don't think there was any massive plot to doing. You know what was amazing to me was, I was watching Entertainment Tonight. They said where he got the 40 grand from. He just did a couple of dates in Europe.
Mm-hmm.
A guy like that who, you don't even hear from anymore, he was pulling down 40 grand. And he was touring with 2 other guys. What is money in show business?
I'm telling you.
I mean, we're not seeing any. Oh, what are you saying, Rich? There wasn't any money in show business? There was $10 million for you.
No, there was more. That was Paul's statement. It was actually closer to $25 million.
But it's all gone.
I never saw it, so I don't even know.
Could still be somewhere. He just didn't know.
All right.
Yet.
Well, we'll get to the bottom of that in a few minutes. 9:14, we got to take a break.
Goodbye, funny man. David Ruffin.
Funny that, you bring up David Ruffin, the guy kicked out of the Temptations, and yet Rich Cowsill kicked out of the Cowsills. So, it's like scary. Everything sort of ties in.
It's cosmic, man.
He's a vet. Yesterday was, a veterans type day, and the whole thing, you just tie in with everything, don't you? You're an interesting dude. All right, Nutrisystem. Yes, if you want to lose some weight. Rich is in here complaining about his dad and the Cowsills and his father throwing certain Cowsills out. I said, I just wish my father would start a group.
Yeah, at least there'd have been some money to lose.
Yeah. I'd rather be moaning about $25 million than...
Never having had it.
Yeah. $25 million. The Cowsills, how could the Cowsills make $25 million? What?
Well, they toured a lot.
Yeah.
Very easily. We were the first rock group, and I mean across the board, that had our own specials on NBC.
Right.
We did specials with Wayne Newton, with
and that makes
Buddy
that much,
Epson.
and that can make that much money? $25 million?
We had with the American Dairy Association a contract for $3.5 million.
Wow.
Where we did all the milk commercials. We did so many state fairs. We used to leave states, and the state police would follow us because we were loaded with cash, because the state fairs are all cash.
Wow.
Oh, believe me, $25 million is out there. Or was out there.
Do you think Cowsills also sell guns to the Contras?
To my last recollection, they're not talking about it.
All right. Now, Nutrisystem. How do you lose weight? How do you lose weight in this day
You
and
know
age?
how to lose money. You don't know how to lose.
Yeah.
Those guys.
You
I'm in the process of getting money.
You are trying to get the money?
Well, I'm here, Howard.
Right.
I think that
says it all. I think that says it all. You'll definitely get
If you can find
money.
a way to get money out of this, I'd like to see it.
I'm here every day. I still haven't gotten any money. Here's an important announcement from your friends at Nutrisystem. Healthline Magazine rated... Now, this is big news. Healthline Magazine rated Nutrisystem number 1. Of the 16 diets rated, Nutrisystem was the preferred program overall with a score of 100. Now, look, nobody got a score of 100. Weight Watchers didn't do that well, and Jenny Craig only got a 60. Okay, so you tell me. Nutrisystem, chosen as the most preferred weight loss program around today. Now,
which plan are you going to go for?
Nutrisystem. Let me tell you about Nutrisystem for a second here. The whole method to them. All I want you to do if you're a smoker is take down this number and call. All right? Seriously, would you take it down?
I'm doing it right now. Huh?
All right, 212.
Wait a minute. Okay.
794. This guy travels with a pad. Hey. Look who's here. Rich Cowsill again. Who is a bitter man. I think you're bitter in a way. You are bitter. Don't laugh that off. You're a bitter guy.
No. I beg to differ. What I am is a person that is going to get what is mine. Okay, fair enough.
What do you mean you're going to get what you're... I thought the $25 million is gone.
And I thought he wasn't a member of the Cowsills.
You never performed in the Cowsills.
True.
So how can you get what's yours?
Because the fact of the matter is, and in fact...
No offense.
No. I got news for you. I've heard it from closer sources, like try my brothers.
Right.
And the fact is...
they might have a problem with that.
They said, well, you're not a Cowsill, so because when they did this time, I said, hey, guys, I'm in. And
you know what's hurting you?
What?
The Cowsills had this phenomenal success. They're part of pop culture. And you say, hey, why wasn't I allowed in this? It's really a beef between you and your father. Your father would not allow you to be in the group.
What's hurting me is that we have the potential to make it again.
Right.
And because of the psychological blitz that my father did on my brothers and myself...
and ostracize you from the rest of the family.
Now they trust no one. They don't have a manager. They don't have agents. They don't believe in... They are unmanageable to hear it from them, yet they think that they're going to succeed, and it's so sad.
Well, let me ask you. In other words, how do you know they think they're going to succeed? You've talked to them about this?
Oh, absolutely.
And you've said to them, hey, I want to be in the group, and your brothers and sisters still won't let you in the group.
Their attitude is that I'm not a Cowsill. And my attitude is, hey, look at...
You would have been a Cowsill if you didn't have this father.
Exactly. So this time around, that doesn't work.
Now, you told me during the commercials that you are a better singer even than your own sister.
No, I didn't say that, Howard. What I said was that my sister and I sang for the first time in our lives in my garage in Massapequa last summer, and she was amazed at the various ranges. I don't even know the technical term.
You didn't even know you could sing.
Precisely, because I was Freudianly blitzed from it. I mean, I don't even know the...
Look at what's going on over there. Give him something to drink, for God's sake.
Normally,
go ahead, yes.
Normally, that's not foam. That's my
that's your rabies.
Thing.
Go ahead.
Hey, no, but seriously, normally when I say we, I say, and by the way, I'm using the term loosely. At any rate,
go ahead.
Elvis.
Listen, let him use the words we, because what he's saying is, hey, for God's sakes, this is something that was ripped out from my life.
I'm trying to help him deal with reality.
All right.
He was not a part of the group.
Anyway, let's move on.
I don't know this is the right time to deal with it. I mean, we're on the air and everyone's,
Anyway.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so Elvis and Sinatra...
Robin chooses the strangest places to do therapy. Do me a favor. Do it after the show when I'm not around.
No.
All right, go ahead.
And
I'm in the room with him.
And
go ahead.
And this is our opening in Las Vegas.
Go ahead.
And
this is the Cowsills opening in Las Vegas.
Fair enough.
All right, go ahead.
But you see, that would wipe out my entire life if I didn't use the term we.
Right. In other words, you're not even a member of the family as far as the public's concerned. Go ahead.
We eliminate it.
Right.
Okay. So we is loosely from here on in, Robin.
Right.
So they can
we meaning not you.
Fair enough.
Go ahead.
Or you.
Right.
So
I'm as much in the Cowsills as you were.
Well, yeah,
exactly.
I would say we at this point.
Exactly.
Yeah, we were on the Ed Sullivan Show.
At any point, I can't say... All right.
You know how hard it is for a kid seeing all of his brothers and sisters out there performing, and he is not even given a place on stage?
Yes.
Let me tell you something, my friend. I see why you're all messed up. I know exactly what you're saying.
That's your interpretation. I feel
no, you know what I mean. I mean, messed up about all of this.
Yeah. Oh, of course. Oh, it's a very emotional...
There's nothing wrong with saying that.
Yeah.
I mean, no kid could survive that.
So...
That's harder than surviving Vietnam, what you survived as a child.
You know what? Swear to God, when people say to me, wow, you were in Vietnam, I say, man, that's nothing compared to what I lived before there.
And I understand psychological torture.
All right? So...
Remember, I was in the Ben Stern Daycare Center growing up. Listen, I made as much money with the Cowsills as you did, and that's got to disturb
Probably
you.
more.
Right. I might have made more money with the Cowsills. So go ahead. Anyway, Robin, you and I made more money with the Cowsills. Go ahead.
My mom loves Frank Sinatra and Elvis Presley.
Your mom was a weak woman because she never stood up to your father.
God
rest her soul.
God rest her soul.
Thank you.
And that's another
thing.
You
can say my mom. I will allow that.
When I hear my brothers dissing her, I mean, I want to reach right to the screen and get them.
Thank you.
But anyway. So my mom, who, like Elvis and Frank, were the total thing. Jan Murray, who is my publicist, knows Jilly. I don't know if you know him. Anyway, it was set up that Sinatra and Elvis had front row seats.
At the Cowsill show.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
For the grand opening. Now, previous to that, grand opening on Vegas. And here,
focus in on this story.
This is it.
All right, go ahead.
To me.
Yes, go ahead.
You always accuse me of not focusing.
Him in this.
In being in the Cowsills?
Yeah.
Let him be whatever he wants to be.
Yo, mama.
But I don't think, the Cowsills are going to go anywhere. I don't know anymore.
All right, listen to me. You just hang in there with him.
I will.
All right?
He's a good guy.
Now, what group is your family in?
The Montellas.
The Montella group. We're Italians.
I got you. All right, well, you're a good woman. And take care of those chickenpox.
Oh, I know.
All right.
Thank you, Howard.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, thanks, Howard.
Just want to say the woman that lives with you.
She's calm. They make
Yeah,
a good couple. They're
they do.
opposites.
Precisely.
You're a much better looking guy than when you got married.
Yeah, well, I'm telling you, it was the drugs and
Because now you look kind of like John Davidson or something.
and alcohol.
Yeah.
So, no, I feel great.
You know, he looks like that actor. What's that guy? McClure.
Oh, Doug McClure.
Yeah, you look like Doug McClure.
And sometimes they say the guy on MacGyver, Dean
Yeah.
Anderson.
Yeah, you look a little like him, MacGyver.
I don't know.
Yeah, he does look like MacGyver.
Well, if he ever gets sick, I'm available. But anyway, go ahead, Howard.
All right, Robin, go ahead.
Go ahead, Robin.
It's been some day, hasn't
I'm
it?
ready. I'm ready to go to sleep.
Yesterday, the parade.
Mental exhaustion?
Now this.